Crystals are alive. They have thoughts like you and I, memory like you and I, and they even feel. And today, I'm going to teach you how to directly communicate with your crystals. Peace unto you. My name is Nadiie, and today we are going to discuss how to connect to your crystal's consciousness. Let us begin. What you must understand at a foundation is your crystal must be activated in order for you to connect to its consciousness. Watch my other videos on how to activate your crystals. I will give you a small sneak peek into techniques you can utilize. One way you can activate your crystal is one of the easiest ways. You set an intention of what you want to receive from the crystal. Then you directly, with your mind's eye, talk to the crystal and ask the crystal, what is the crystal willing to give you? Then you ask God, God, guide me, my intention, and the foundational intention of this crystal to align perfectly in harmony. And so it is. Any variation of those type of words in that order, that will guide you to activating your crystal. I promise you it's as simple as that. Now, crystals, they're beings, they have a consciousness. If you find yourself in a position where you've lost your crystal, you didn't really lose your crystal. Your crystal is signaling to you that its purpose either has already served or it's going to be done as it pertains to service with you. So the best thing that you can do is you can cleanse your crystal and you can gift it to someone. If you don't have anyone to gift your crystal to, literally dig up a hole in soil, put the crystal in there, say like a farewell prayer, A.K.A. divine statement, cover it up, and you've done something far more powerful than what you may realize. Some ancients, thousands and thousands of years ago, they would know about all the ley lines and basically like the energetic veins of the planet. And they will go to them, and that's where they will bury their crystals. Now, if you do it that way, let's say you're someone that's near like a ley line or near like any very, very powerful vortex, you can plant crystals in those areas, set the right intention, and you literally can shape the way Earth goes and operates for the next 20 to 30 years. See, this information came about when Atlantis was falling. Many beings from Atlantis, as they were moving forth towards the destruction and experiencing the destruction, they would get visions, like I would say days, not weeks, but days before. Like God didn't give them no time because they, sources outside of time. So it really sparked that hurry up energy. And God would give them visions like, oh, the city's about to fall. I need you to put these crystals in these particular areas. And that's going to assist the next civilization, which was Egypt at that time. And basically, them putting those crystals, because they have very, very powerful crystals, and crystals hold memory. So all the memory from Atlantis was basically placed in these energetic vortexes on Earth. And then that memory basically shot out everywhere. And essentially what it did was it allowed people that were in Egypt to have fleeting memories of what happened in Atlantis. So at any point, if they were on a path of Atlantis and, like repetition was going to happen, that fleeting memory would come and kind of change the course of their actions. So like one of the main reasons Atlantis fell was because they was tampering with nature. They got so high in consciousness, and people, they think, oh yeah, if we get super high in dimensionality, everything's going to be good. No. Atlantis, all of their DNA strands were activated. They got so high in consciousness, they were bored. And they started to do things like the man and animal, those Greek mythologies, those came from Atlantis. There were actual beings, like these beings understood the Lemuria practices of projecting your consciousness into something else. And then they would do that. But they knew how to forcefully extract your consciousness and place it into something else to see how long you would survive. That's how deep it got. That's why planting a crystal after it served its purpose in earth is extremely important, because it saved Egypt. One of the main reasons that Egypt still stands today, because so many crystal, basically defense walls were put up. That's how powerful crystals are. To talk to your crystals, to connect with them consciously, you have to quite literally speak to it as if it was one of your homies, as if maybe it was a plant. They say when you sing to plants and you talk to plants, it helps the plants grow. The same thing with the crystal. You and the crystal have to build trust. I talked about my other videos about energetic signatures and why it's so important. I'll dedicate another video to it if it serves for you and if you want that. Energetic signatures are so important to understand because your crystal has an energetic signature that basically is like, this is my name. But your energetic signature for the crystals are like archetypes. So many crystals, they don't necessarily have to look alike, but they will have the same energetic signature. Well, let's say, for example, rose quartz. Let's say you have rose quartz, and we understand the foundation of rose quartz is for the heart. Its energetic signature can basically be a heart frequency signature, right? Something that allows you to see yourself as God does in a more loving way. Well, you don't necessarily need to find another love crystal. All you need to do is find a crystal that gives you that same emotion, that same feeling that you feel when you're around rose quartz. As long as you have that feeling, then you understand, okay, these energetic signatures are either the same or very, very similar. Speak to the crystal and talk about what you're feeling, how you're very appreciative of what it's displaying, and how its service most likely is going to continue in the future. And at any point, if the service is going to get transmuted into something else, we are very grateful, and I'll give you back to earth. Really, really connect with your crystals. Speak to them. It's very, very, very powerful. And then sometimes if you build that trust with your crystals, well, what happened is your crystal may just randomly pop up. That's because what you have done is you shifted your consciousness. The reason why crystals will disappear out of your life is because it feels like it isn't consciously being recognized. So it says, well, if you're not consciously recognizing me, why am I here? I'm just going to poof out of your reality. Well, if it poofs back in your reality, what happened is you shifted and you literally walked through a portal, went to a parallel lifetime of you where you was actively connected with that crystal, and boom, and popped back up. We are literally portal jumping constantly. And if you know what you're doing, when you do it on command, like for example, when I was looking for a job, I anchored a specific technique that I would teach in my mystery school. We have a mystery school open. You click the link in the bio to sign up if you're interested. Before you do though, DM me or email me and I'll give you a free 3-day course so you can integrate, because why are you trying to go to a mystery school if you can't dedicate at least 3 days to God? Now, I did this specific technique and I made my front door into a portal. Walked out the door, and every place I went to, they wanted to hire me. Insane. It literally was back to back to back to back to back. I went to interviews way before. Nobody wanted to talk to me. The moment I opened that portal, walked through the front door, I was getting calls back to back to back to back. Insane. But consciously speak to your crystals. And even if your crystal doesn't necessarily feel like, and maybe you don't feel like it served its purpose, you can have your consciousness and your intention be so pure that you can plant it outside of your house and you can visualize like a dome or like a bubble around your house, and that will essentially allow you to hold on to a very, very powerful frequency. Set an intention. Say maybe like, oh, I want 5 hertz around, or 528 hertz around my house. You can use that with the crystals. May these abilities and techniques guide you. And with that, we say welcome home.